What happens when a lover is an addict, the maid is a flirt, and the houseboy has his own hidden troubles? Let's find out together. Hey friends, today we bring you another amazing movie that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's not only educative, but also fascinating. But before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe for more captivating movies from us. The story begins with a man named Michael, who was about to leave for work when he heard his girlfriend, Lami, screaming from their room. He rushed in, only to find that she had stepped on a rat trap set by his house assistant, Yukimi, in an attempt to catch some rodents. Michael got angry and scolded Ukeme for placing the trap, while Lami insulted him repeatedly. Ukeme, also known as Big Joe, responded rudely to Lami and almost crossed the line, but Michael quickly intervened and sent him out, warning him that he would deal with him later. That night, Lami couldn't sleep due to the heat in the room. She approached Ukeme to ask why there was no power, but his excuses didn't make sense. This led to a heated argument, and Lami walked away angrily. The next morning, Lami reported the incident to Michael, who was away on a trip. His cold response made her even more furious, and she ended the call abruptly. She later confronted Ukeme about not opening the gate for her, and he claimed he only opened for people he recognized. At breakfast, Ukeme served Lami fufu and egusi soup, but he tasted the food in front of her in a very irritating manner. Lami was disgusted and chased him away angrily. Later that day, while Michael was on his way home, the cab he took broke down. A female mechanic named Susan came to fix the car. Meanwhile, Lami tried to leave with Michael's car that same morning, but when he questioned her, she refused to explain where she was going and left without a word. Michael, surprised by her actions, collected Susan's number from the cab driver in case his car had further issues. But here's the question: how far would you go for love when trust is already broken? That evening, Michael returned home and wondered why Ukeme wouldn't give up his position in the house. Ukeme then told him, proudly, that he had 4 wives at his disposal. When Michael asked about food, Ukeme said he had prepared fufu, but Michael, tired and uninterested, headed to his room. Later that night, Michael asked Ukeme about his car and Lami's whereabouts, but Ukeme claimed he had no idea. Michael threatened him, especially if anything happened to his car. While Michael was on a business call, Ukeme came to inform him that Lami was outside. They both rushed out to find her unconscious. Michael took her into the room, concerned, while Ukeme acted strangely and was sent away. The next morning, Lami apologized to Michael, confessing she was trying to stop her drug addiction. Michael was ready to end the relationship, but Lami seduced him, and they made love. Later that day, Lami went to the kitchen and scolded Ukeme for cooking something too heavy in the morning. She expected him to have been thrown out, but instead slapped him and warned him to obey her. Ukeme reported this to Michael, but Michael threatened to fire him if he didn't respect Lami, saying he was crossing the line. Michael searched the house for his iPad, but couldn't find it. He suspected Lami might have stolen it to buy drugs and tried calling her, but her phone was off. That night, Michael and Ukeme saw Lami at the front of Michael's company. Michael instructed Ukeme to pack her things. This is how drugs can ruin a person's life, to the point they lose everything. Would you give someone like that another chance after countless warnings? The next morning, Lami tried to enter the house to see her boyfriend, but Ukeme refused to let her in. That night, Ukeme was excited to have drinks with his boss. He wondered why his boss attracted many women, but Michael couldn't tolerate his annoying talk and walked away. The next day, Susan came to fix Michael's car. Ukeme welcomed her, but started making inappropriate comments because he found her attractive. Susan responded firmly, which angered him. After finishing the repair, she asked Ukeme to open the gate, but he refused. When he heard Michael's car approaching, he rushed to open it. Susan reported the incident to Michael, who scolded Ukeme. Michael then promised to send Susan a payment once she sent her bank details. That night, Ukeme prepared rice for Michael as a bribe to gain information about his personal relationship life, but Michael dismissed him without answering. The next day, a little girl named Mimi came looking for Michael, but Ukeme wouldn't let her in, claiming she was too young to be visiting a man. Not long after, Michael arrived and asked Mimi why she came. He took her inside, but she said nothing about her reason for visiting. Michael corrected Ukeme for his negative assumptions and told him to prepare food for his sister. As time passed, Mimi rudely threatened Ukeme when he brought her food. Later that night, Mimi insisted that her big brother get married so there could be peace in the family. She asked him to sponsor her school excursion. Though reluctant at first, Michael eventually agreed and she left excited. The next morning, as Mimi was about to leave, she told him to remind her school manager to send the account details. Just then, Susan came in to check the car Michael had complained about. After examining it, she found nothing was wrong. Meanwhile, Ukeme, who had been waiting for his boss to execute a special plan, accidentally exposed it to Susan. He revealed that Michael wanted to cook specially for her. Michael scolded Ukeme and sent him away, then invited Susan in and served her the special meal. To Michael's surprise, she loved it. He then asked her out on a proper date that night. When Susan asked what he truly wanted, he confessed, and she agreed. Ukeme later returned to Snoop, but Michael sent him away again. Michael and Susan enjoyed their time together as the evening went by. Wow, so quick. Can love really be that simple if you find the right woman? The next morning, Lami came to visit Michael. At first, Ukeme didn't allow her in, but when she lied that her mother was sick, he gave her some money out of sympathy. Later that night, Ukeme told Michael about Lami's visit and her request for money. Michael was shocked and revealed that Lami's mother had already passed away, meaning she had scammed Ukeme. Michael left Ukeme feeling anxious and betrayed. One day, Ukeme saw Susan leaving the house with a file. He stopped her out of fear of losing his job if Michael found out. He warned her never to do that again. She apologized and left. Despite this, Ukeme still saw her as a good person. Later, Susan went to check on Michael in his room. He complained of a headache, and she gave him some pills to relieve the pain. That night, Michael stared at Susan. The next morning, Susan prepared food for Michael before he left for work. They shared another peaceful moment together. One day, Michael asked Ukeme for advice about Susan. He confessed how easygoing she was and that it scared him. Ukeme gave his opinion, saying maybe she was too good to be true. Now the question is, will Michael marry Susan or search for another woman with flaws? After some time, Susan came to visit, but Ukeme wouldn't let her in, saying there was too much housework to handle while Michael was away. Susan understood, but asked Ukeme to keep in touch once things settled. She then left quietly. Ukeme was frustrated, tired of lying to Susan every time she came around. One day, Michael was driving out and almost ran into a lady named Kemi, who was ranting with ghetto vibes. But when she saw the handsome man behind the wheel, she suddenly became polite and seductive. They introduced themselves, and before long, they went inside and had intimate moments. Ukeme noticed this and was shocked at how fast Michael moved on from Susan. The next day, Kemi threatened Ukeme because he put salt in her noodles. She became aggressive and forced him to eat it. It was a terrible experience for Ukeme in the restroom, and he regretted ever adding salt. That same day, Kemi caused another scene. Because Ukeme refused to check who was at the gate, she broke bottles. Ukeme had to run and hide in her room for safety. Now the big question. How will Michael deal with this explosive woman when he returns? Will he experience the same chaos as Ukeme, or something worse? When Michael returned from his trip, he asked why Kemi hadn't left. Despite Ukeme's many complaints, Kemi insisted they were already in a relationship and even claimed they were married. Michael tried to reason with her, but she refused to leave. Later that night in the kitchen, Michael asked Ukeme why he was running. Ukeme, thinking it was Kemi chasing him, explained all the terror he had been through in her hands. Michael asked him to help escort her out, but Ukeme refused. He was also a victim. Michael sighed and admitted he had really messed up. That night, Michael couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the mess he had created. The next morning, Michael ran out of the house, trying to escape all the drama Kemi had brought. After he left, Kemi called Ukeme to her room, asking him to rub her back, but he refused and walked away. Michael went into Susan and pleaded with her. He told her the truth, that her perfection scared him. He asked for another chance, but Susan refused. She told him never to return and walked away. In the final scene, Michael and Ukemi stood watching Kemi while she ate, both of them on edge as she kept acting defensively. Later that night, Kemi tried to force herself on Michael, but he ran downstairs to escape. Kemi continued to cause chaos in the house, and Michael had no choice but to sleep elsewhere. The next morning, Ukemi gathered some boys who helped carry Kemi away. Just then, Michael drove in and rejoiced with Ukemi, who was visibly excited as the moment went by. It's honestly funny how someone can be so stubborn to leave just because the person they're after is attractive and wealthy. But looking at Susan, if you were in her shoes, would you take Michael back? Kindly share your thoughts as we see this story come to an end. That night, Susan thought deeply about what Michael had said. She saw him as a bad person and got emotional, consoling herself through the pain. Later the next day, Ukemi went to visit Susan to deliver a message from Michael. He pleaded on his boss's behalf, but she walked out on him without a word. Ukemi returned home, only to find Mimi there. She complimented his outfit, and they both went inside. That night, Ukemi was about to tell Mimi what really happened between Michael and Susan, but Michael interrupted and told him to keep quiet. The next day, Mimi and Ukemi went to visit Susan, and Mimi pleaded with her on her brother's behalf as time passed. Not long after, Susan received a gift from Michael. She called him, and they both shared a warm moment together. One day, Michael stepped outside and saw Ukemi in a heated argument with a woman. She claimed that Ukemi had gotten her pregnant and was refusing to marry her. She insulted him as Michael stood and watched in disbelief. Later in the house, Michael asked Ukemi how he was going to handle the situation. Ukemi pleaded to be employed as Michael's personal driver so he could earn more money to take care of all his wives. Michael refused, reminding him that he was already the cook, housekeeper, and gateman. Ukemi then confessed that he was the one who drove Mimi to visit Susan and explained everything that had happened that day. After a while, Susan dressed up and was waiting for Michael, only to see Ukemi approaching her with sweet words, as if they were dating. But it was all part of Michael's plan. He soon appeared and proposed to Susan, and she said, yes. They celebrated the moment together with joy. Months later, Kemi came back to see Michael, but Ukemi refused to let her in. He told her that his boss was now married, and although she insisted on being a side chick, Ukemi locked the gate and walked away. The moral lesson of this movie is, never judge people only by appearances. True love takes patience, understanding, and the courage to make things right. Lust fades, but respect and honesty build lasting peace. And when life gives you second chances, use them wisely before it's too late. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe for more popular and amazing movies from us. Till we meet again, bye.